Thanks to stay with us. We are still reviewing Punch. Miriam has a story?
Yes, I do. So the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, yesterday said that government discovered an apartment under the Dolphin Estate Bridge in Ikoyi where tenants pay 250,000 naira annually as rent. We had the special advisor to the governor, Kunle Rotimi Akodu, who further confirmed it, and he gave us like a full details of what happened. He says 23 individuals were arrested during the eviction, and it was carried out by officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps. He says the squatters were dwelling under the bridge leading inward Dolphin Estate. He said that the people created an illegal settlement under the bridge, thereby exposing the infrastructure to impending destruction, and that these 23 people that were arrested would face the law. And then he also confirmed that there were 86 rooms. They were partitioned into 10 by 10.
86?
Yes, 10 by 10 and 12 by 10, with squatters paying an average rent of 250,000 per annum. So, of course, there are a lot of things shocking about this, is that that bridge has been taken over by squatters, and that people are actually collecting money from these squatters. And they are collecting as much as 250,000.
You know, I can't blame the squatters. It's the people collecting the money.
Of course.
Government should go after those people. I mean, you are cheating them. You are taking 250,000 a year from them for...
These are people probably coming from different parts of the country, looking for somewhere there.
Yes.
They're just in Lagos for the first time, trying to get settled. So you're taking advantage.
Small money. It's 250,000.
I know, yeah, annually. Sure.
For under the bridge.
It's better than sleeping on the road. At least the rain will not kill you there.
Under the bridge is not under the road.
At least the rain is to protect you. I'm just trying to...
They build containers.
Understand where they're coming from. It's wrong, absolutely.
wrong.
No, but
It's
how long has that
totally
been
wrong.
there that it has not
while.
come to... Well, it must have been there. They must have been there for a while, collecting this money.
86 rooms, that's a long time. How do you build? You can't build it 6 rooms.
You are collecting this money. You are not even... It's not your land.
Not paying taxes.
You're not paying taxes.
Okay, let me just talk about the anchor borrowers. I've been quite interested in anchor borrowers for a while. So that, as a review of the anchor borrowers, so Nigeria spent about 11.6 trillion on importation of agricultural produce during the 9-year period, where it spent on the return, spent 1.1 trillion on the central bank's anchor borrowers. So for anchors borrowers, they spent 1.1 trillion naira. But on the other hand, they still imported 11.6 trillion worth of products from abroad. This is according to the analysis done by the Foreign Trade Services statistics published by the National Bureau of Statistics between 2016 and 2023. The data broke down the volume of agri imports recorded. The major imports are from United States, Canada, Argentina. But what made this quite interesting is that Nigeria could only manage export worth 3.4 at a balance trade of 8.1 trillion. So there's the potential of 8.1 trillion. We're only able to export 3.4 trillion. Just letting you know that the anchor borrowers, yes, the intention was great, but it wasn't fantastically successful because we're still importing a huge chunk of our products. The idea was for farmers to be connected and linked and anchored to the manufacturers who need their produce. So to have them to sell locally. But many of them are still exporting. So there's a lot of issues with that, but I'm hoping that the intention which was created for can be achieved with better policies, measures in place for it to move forward.
I just wanted to take this short story in the Punch as well. The minister has directed the approval for sand mining beneath the bridges in Lagos State should be restricted to a minimum of 10 kilometers from the center of the bridge. He said some are doing 1.2 kilometers, so it's affecting the piles and it's really dangerous. So he said it has to be 10 kilometers away from the bridge. I think that is so important because the
Did they have to tell you?
Collapse.
Did they have to tell you?
Can you imagine?
But it's good that it's documented, it's written out, so
put it as policy, we understand, but like, you have to be told.
Daily Sun. Workers angry over federal government's delay on minimum wage. Lagos Calabar Highway FG begins payment of 2.7 billion naira compensation to affected owners. Fuel scarcity, reps demand clampdown on hoarders. Israel-Iran crisis responsible for fuel scarcity, Ipman. Abia North, Orji Kalu intensifies schools construction in Abiriba, Nkporo communities. PDP begins nationwide reconciliation. Turkey to join South Africa's genocide case against Israel at World Court. Okay, which story? Who has any story?
Yes, I have the son. So Ipman is saying that scarcity of fuel spread. The scarcity of fuel that we're experiencing right now it can be blamed on the Israel-Iran crisis, and that it's affecting, transportation, logistics because of the crisis happening in the Middle East. And he says that NNPC had increased efforts too to alleviate the situation. They've opened up their depots to ensure steady supply of products, and that these products, other stakeholders are just saying that government is doing what it can, to alleviate the issue. The issues in the Middle East is what is causing this. So I just hope we'll get to a point, especially for a country that, we excavate crude oil, and now we have a refinery that very soon will come up, that we would not be caught up in these, this crisis, how it will not affect us so badly. When we had the Ukraine war, the Ukraine-Russia war affected bread for some reason, flour and wheat for some reason, and here we are now struggling with petrol shortage because of the crisis in the Middle East. I understand that these crises that happen globally affect the world one way or the other, but as a country that we have crude oil, this is the more reason why we need to work on refining our products and making sure that we're doing a lot of local production.
So for those of you interested in the Israeli war going on in Gaza, so if you recall, the International Court of Justice had ordered Israel to refrain from any acts that could fall under the Genocide Convention and to ensure its troops commit no genocidal acts against Palestinians after South Africa had accused Israel of state-led genocide in Gaza. So Turkey, the Turkish foreign minister, Hakan Fidan, said yesterday that Turkey would also join South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. As you also know, Israel and its Western allies described the allegation as baseless, and the final ruling in South Africa's ICJ case is in The Hague will be awaited from The Hague.
Okay, so there was a terrible accident on in Enugu by the Maduka University. A bus, an 18-seater bus, plunged into the fence of the Maduka University, located at Ikoyi in Igbo Etiti local government area. The bus, the police said it was speeding, high speed again, and then he now plunged, and the car caught fire. 18 people, 16 were burnt to death, 14 male and 2 female. No, it's really terrible. Yes. Because there were 18 people, 2 sustained injuries and have been taken to the hospital.
Oh my
God. And they've given, because they can't identify the people, so they've given a phone number, or 2 phone numbers. So I'm going to read out those numbers. If you're looking for your person, 0809 888 0172 or 0808 667 1202, or send emails to info@enugupolice@gmail.com. Very, very sad. I hope I read the numbers out slowly
They can always and they can always record.
If you're looking for family members, they were in.
Check those calls.
Very, very terrible. They have to stop these people from speeding.
You tell them to do road. You do road and they speed on the road. If you don't do the road, they'll slow down. I don't even know what to do.
You know, cars that do public transportation that are unable to go beyond a certain speed limit. That's what happens.
We need to do
local production of cars, since we know that Nigerian drivers don't seem to understand these things.
Moving on now to Vanguard.
Car will just start making noise.
Yes, now. This third mainland bridge that they just fixed. Do you know how many accidents have happened between the time it was fixed? Yes, that's happening, that they're recording. People are just speeding. Flying over the bridge.
I say one car passed me on Sunday. If
they don't fix car, you fix road, you complain. Fix road. They are speeding and killing people.
You know there are cameras there.
Yeah.
I don't think they have enough, because by now they should have been giving people their bills.
Okay, let me move on to Vanguard very quickly. Labour gives federal government May 31st deadlines for minimum wage. Banks closed 2 million accounts over BVN and NIN. Nasima President Oye to speak at Vanguard Economic Summit. Insecurity, Matawale urges U.S. to share intel on terrorism banditry. And yeah, Mayday governors promise better working conditions, pay rise for workers. So let me take the, you have a story?
I have a story.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matawale, hosted the Assistant Secretary for Defense for African Affairs at the U.S. Department of Defense, Jennifer Zakrisky, and her team at the Ship House. And one of the things that he talked about was that there needs to be intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the United States of America in order to fight banditry and terrorism in the country. And then he listed areas of possible collaboration to include intelligence sharing aimed at bolstering the fight against insecurity. So he mentioned that there's sometimes that the U.S. would send early warning to its citizens in countries where there are crises. And that he says those intelligence can be shared with Nigeria as well as a warning for impending attacks. So you remember sometimes we'll just be sitting down quietly. We'll hear that America has sent a memo to its citizens saying they shouldn't go to a certain place or they've heard certain news. So they are doing it above our heads, meaning that even our intelligence or our DSS is unaware that this information, America has gotten this information, which I find completely rude. I mean, if you're living in our country and you have information that there could be,
you should share it.
It's sort of, you know, an attack, you should share it with our intelligence unit. I mean, also, it means that we need to do better. Outsiders should not know before us what is likely to happen in our country. But anyways, the Minister of State is saying, please make sure that we have... They don't want to spoon feed us, and maybe they don't trust who they can give this information to before it's turned around.
Let's not speak for the U.S.
Anyway,
we don't know.
We don't know. We're just giving possible scenarios.
Was it not? It was even the office of the NSA. Abi, what is it?
Yes,
that guy escaped.
Who?
The Binance guy. He was here now. He escaped. He said he was going to Moscow.
But they've caught him now.
I don't caught him in Kenya. I'm sure the Kenyans are
just like we caught Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, so we have a relation with
Kenyans. So Kenyans can give up.
Nnamdi Kanu's case was totally different. Nnamdi Kanu had to run for his life.
What I'm saying is that we have a relationship with Kenya. So if you go and run to Kenya, you will get caught. Nigeria has a
that's because he made the mistake. If I run to another place...
It's actually Kenyan. It's half Kenyan. He's actually half Kenyan. Let me take this last story. Commercial banks in Nigeria closed over 2 million bank accounts in the first quarter of 2024 in effort to clean their books of the questionable accounts and comply with regulatory orders on linkage of bank accounts to national identity number.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.